Best Netflix Original Movies of 2018 and 2019. 2018. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. 6 stories about life and bloodshed in the Old West are told, including those of a singing gunslinger, a bank robber, a traveling showman, an aged prospector, a wagon train, and a perverted pair of bounty hunters. The lives of 6 separate people, who are all connected by death, are told against the backdrop of 19th century post-Civil War America, where life was harsh and cheap. Buster Scruggs, a merry gunslinger with a beautiful singing voice and a lightning-fast right hand, will learn in the Ballad of Buster Scruggs that talent alone is insufficient. The ambitious bank robber in Near Algodones follows, and in Meal Ticket, an elderly traveling impresario goes above and beyond to capture the audience's attention. In All Gold Canyon, which comes after, a failing prospector with silver hair is confident that his luck will turn in the middle of nowhere. Following that, in The Gal Who Got Rattled, stunning Alice discovers that passion and stray bullets don't mix. Last but not least, 5 individuals who are crowded into a stagecoach and the mortal remains discuss their personal views before realizing that appearances can be deceitful. Bird Box. A mother and her 2 children make a desperate attempt to get to safety 5 years after an evil unseen force causes the majority of society to commit suicide. A mother must get the courage to run away with her kids along a perilous river in quest of safety after a mysterious global horror. The dangerous journey must be conducted blindly because of invisible harmful forces. Bird Box is a thriller that was directed by Emmy Award winner Suzanne Bier and stars Academy Award winner Sandra Bullock, John Malkovich, Sarah Paulson, and Trevante Rhodes. Mallory, a single mother with 2 children, and her 2 children set out on a perilous journey to find the only protected sanctuary on Earth in the midst of a nightmare new reality where an unknown malevolent power purges the entire world's population. As the defenseless, blindfolded defender musters the fortitude to chase a faint glimmer of hope concealed deep inside a sanctuary down the river, darkness may be the only thing that can save them. But in this perilous adventure, one's eyesight is the real enemy. The guidelines for surviving have altered now. Will Mallory and her children survive to see tomorrow? To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Secret love letters written by a teenage girl are discovered, ruining her romantic prospects. Lara Jean Covey, a teenager, leads a typical, monotonous high school existence up until some surprising letters are sent to all of her old crushes. These were private love letters that were only intended for her to read, but one day her sister Kitty decided to share them in an effort to make Lara Jean's life more fascinating. At school, when these lads begin to approach her about their letters, her life is thrown into chaos. These boys include Peter Kavinsky, her archenemy Jen's lover, and Josh, who also happens to be her neighbor and the boyfriend of her older sister Margot. Lara Jean discovers herself and perhaps even a meaningful connection through a series of extremely bizarre incidents. Lara Jean Covey writes private letters to each of her previous loves, intended only for her eyes. Until one day when all of the letters to her prior loves are sent. When her previous loves come face to face with her one by one, her life is quickly turned upside down. A hatbox that her mother gave Lara Jean is where she saves her love letters. These are her own letters of love, they weren't written for her by anybody else. 5 in all, 1 for each boy she's ever cherished. Since her letters are exclusively for her eyes, she is free to express her entire being when writing and utter things that she would never say in person. Up until the day her covert letters are delivered, at which point Lara Jean's imagined love life becomes a complete mess. 2019. The Irishman. As a devoted member of the Bufalino Mafia family, hitman Frank Sheeran reflects on the secrets he guarded. There are many things on Frank the Irishman Sheeran's mind. The former high-ranking Union official and hitman developed his killing skills while serving in Italy during World War II. He still keeps in touch with the Bufalino Mafia family as he reflects on his life and the significant mob hits. In particular, the role he allegedly had in Jimmy Hoffa's abduction, who was the former president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters who went missing mysteriously in late July 1975 at the age of 62. In his later years, the frail octogenarian Frank the Irishman Sheeran, a former meat carrier, the strong president of Local 326 of Delaware's Teamsters Union, a cunning racketeer, and a mob hitman, finds himself abandoned in a nursing home in Westchester, Pennsylvania, confined to a wheelchair. Sheeran describes his first murder, which was significant, his connections to the notorious Buffalino crime family, the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the vigorous campaign of the Attorney General, Robert F. Kennedy, and his alleged involvement in the killing of Jimmy Hoffa, an American labor leader and the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Right now, salvation can only be found through reconciliation. How does it feel to be the final man standing? Dolomite is my name. Rudy Ray Moore, a comedy and rap pioneer portrayed by Eddie Murphy, disproved his detractors when his humorous, vulgar, kung fu fighting alter ego, Dolomite, became a blaxploitation smash in the 1970s. Eddie Murphy plays Rudy Ray Moore, a poor musician hoping to get his music played on the store radio station in 1970s Los Angeles. Moore works in a record store. He does a second job at night as the MC for Craig Robinson's band, Ben Taylor, at a club. He approaches the club's owner and requests some time to do comedy, but the owner declines. One day, a homeless man wanders into the record shop and starts yelling loudly and in rhymes, one of which includes the word Dolomite. At the club where he works, Moore gets the notion to develop a stage character and recount these tales. Moore enters the club as Dolomite and begins his crudely hilarious and foul-mouthed routine, the signifying monkey, while sporting pimp garb and a cane. He is supported on stage by Taylor and his band. The audience cheers. Moore approaches his aunt, Lunell, for financial assistance in order to record the comedy album Eat Out more often. He arranges for his pal Jimmy Lynch, Mike Epps, to record him in front of a crowd at his house. Moore starts selling the record from his car's trunk after manufacturing multiple copies of it. The album turns out to be quite well liked, attracting the interest of a record label, which decides to promote it to record shops. To promote the album, Moore volunteers to embark on a tour of the Deep South. He meets Lady Reed, Divine Joy Randolph, a single mother, while he is in Mississippi and persuades her to go on his tour. After learning about the premiere in Indiana, a Hollywood film executive, Bob Odenkirk, whose studio Dimension Pictures had earlier rejected Dolomite, contacts Moore with the offer of buying the movie. Moore, Lady Reed, and the crew all show up at Dimension Pictures in costume as Dolomite. Moore could continue to promote the movie on his own, the executive claims, but he wouldn't start making money straight away. However, everyone would benefit if Dimension Pictures released the movie in theaters. Moore accepts and gets to work on the movie's professional promotion. Moore and the cast received negative reviews of the movie on the way to the Hollywood premiere, which depressed them. Marriage Story. A sharp and sympathetic examination of a marriage ending and a family remaining together by Noah Baumbach. Filmmaker Noah Baumbach, who has been nominated for an Academy Award, takes a sharp and sympathetic look at a marriage ending and a family remaining intact in Marriage Story. Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, Laura Dern, Alan Alda, and Ray Liotta all appear in the movie. Renowned New York City theater director Charlie and former Los Angeles movie actress Nicole decide to divorce after multiple catastrophic sessions of marital mediation, ending their 10-year union. Divorce is awful, though, and while the once close-knit couple tries to make it work for the sake of their 8-year-old son Henry, venomous allegations and sour resentment threaten to undermine the entire foundation of Charlie and Nicole's ostensibly peaceful separation. Now that shrewd and incredibly expensive lawyers are in charge, chaos is inevitable. But why are the horribly terrible and profound wounds of love so great? Is love, in the end, always lasting?